So this is going to be one of my final videos of 2024, if not my final video of 2024. And I figured I'd talk about something intriguing as it relates to next year. Um, GTA 6 is supposed to be coming out sometime on a date that has yet been confirmed by Rockstar Games and Take Two Interactive. And I actually read on Game Rant not too long ago that financial analysts have high expectations for this game. They're expecting it to make 3.2 billion within its first year. And honestly, I think I mean, those expectations seem somewhat unrealistic, but you look at how well GTA 5 did when it came out. It's one of the best-selling video games of the teens decade. It's up there with Minecraft. It's really popular. It's something that people still play to this day, and it's something that's kept people busy for the past like decade or whatever. And I feel that like this particular game has some features that people are particularly fond of, like with the interactions and the whole Bonnie and Clyde dynamic with the main characters. Um, I do feel that like the screenshots that we've seen thus far were better than I initially expected, and this is after it had initially leaked some time back, and basically it wasn't polished or anything like that. I feel like once this game is polished, it's gonna look a lot better than what we've seen in the leaks in the past. And as far as this game, possibly doing 3.2 billion in terms of like revenue, we're just gonna have to sit back and wait and see what happens because I don't know if GTA 5, made that kind of money within its first year. I could see Grand Theft Auto 6 making 3.2 billion, like, overall, or surpassing that overall. And at this point, they have to because I think the budget was at least like $2 billion in general. And I also read that Take Two Interactive CEO is really optimistic about GTA 6 and said that's breathtaking and that's something that's most likely going to rival that of GTA 5 in terms of popularity. A lot of people are already going on record and saying that this is the best video game of 2025, or it's the most anticipated video game of 2025, which is true in many ways. But then 2025, like in general, looks like it's going to be a really, really promising year for video games overall. And I know this is something I've said in previous videos, but you look at the lineup of games that we have coming out next year. We have Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We have Assassin's Creed Shadows. We have Pokemon Legends Z through A. Um, we have Doom: The Dark Ages. We have like a lot of like high profile video games coming out next year, and I'm pretty sure GTA 6 is probably going to be among the many that stands out the most for the most part because people have waited over a decade to see this. And you look at like GTA 6 and how long people have waited for this and all that. I feel like this is probably going to be one of the biggest video game releases of the 2020s decade. And I'm not exactly sure whether or not GTA 6 is going to have an online multiplayer mode similar to that of GTA 5. I would think that they would have to because that was one of the main things that made GTA 5 an attraction after all these years. Because after you beat the story, you had the GTA 5 online multiplayer, and it's something that allowed people to gain as much playtime and fun out of it as possible. And it's something that people kind of had to they had to like get used to like for quite some time because you look at like all the GTA games that came out in the past. I don't think there's ever been like a wide gap between the games compared to what we're seeing between GTA 5 and GTA 6 because I think GTA 5 came out in 2013, GTA 4 came out in '08, San Andreas came out like in I think it was '04, and Vice City came out in '02, and then like GTA 3 came out in '01, something like that. But a lot of people have wondered for quite some time why Rockstar had waited so long to um, to release GTA 6. It's quite possible that at one point they considered ending the franchise at GTA 5 because they probably thought they would never surpass GTA 5 in terms of like commercial sales, in terms of popularity and overall. But GTA 5 overall, I think, did more than 205 million, in sales across multiple, across multiple countries, across multiple consoles, all that. And honestly, I feel like it's going to be quite tough for GTA 6 to, surpass GTA 5 in a short period of time because GTA 5 and all the other games that came out before it, those games weren't really woke. And I know society was different, and you can get away with more controversial content and stuff back in the day, but at the same time, it's like we live in a different world, different society, different audience, where people are hypercritical and hypersensitive. So I feel like with that, they would probably have to find a middle ground in terms of like I guess, if they want to, go woke, whatever, but don't, lean too much into it. I don't think a little bit of controversy is something that would offend people, as long as it's not something that's going to cause people to boycott the game, or it's something that's not going to create like social media backlash or whatever. Because back in the day when, GTA games got backlash or whatever, like in the 2000s, this was before social media really exploded and people went out of their way to review bomb stuff they didn't like or whatever. So I think Rockstar Games would have to be a little bit careful with how they present GTA 6. I also feel the success of this game also depends on whether or not people could connect and gravitate to the main characters, Lucia and Jason. Um, some people, like the characters from GTA 5 a little bit more. They look at it like going from three main characters to like two is kind of a step backwards because the more the merrier. But we'll just have to see how this turns out. Are there going to be any surprises that's going to get us attached to this game? Is the pricing for this game going to be reasonable? Because a lot of people have feared on what the possible release price for this game is going to be. And I don't know. At one point, I heard like the game was supposed to be like somewhere between 100 and $120, something like that. I don't know if that's real or not. It wouldn't surprise me if the game was more than $100, considering how much how much time and effort went into developing this game, how big the budget is, along with the fact that Rockstar and Take Two Interactive is looking to make as much money from this game as they possibly can. But if the price tag for GTA 6 is going to be like anywhere between like 100 or $130 or whatever, then what we get on, this game or on the disc or whatever, or the digital download, it better be worth every dollar and every cent that, customers, spent on it. Because if it's not, customers are immediately going to attack it. They're immediately going to pick apart, the faults and, the flaws and the weaknesses and the I guess the stuff that they consider to be like negative about the game and all that. I feel like there's a lot of pressure riding on Rockstar Games, and I feel like GTA 6 is kind of like a make or break you know game for them. I mean, they're still making like money off of GTA 5 and everything, but trying to follow something like that and trying to either duplicate or have more success than that particular game, I think is the challenge. I do feel that as time goes by, within like the next decade or whatever, GTA 6 could possibly surpass GTA 5 overall in terms of sales. Um, and I do feel that Rockstar is going to do everything they can to milk this game out for as much as they can, probably with like DLC and add-ons and making you pay more for extra stuff because that's just the nature of the beast. That's just something that video game companies do nowadays because they're trying to maximize their profits. But it is what it is. So GTA 6 is basically a game that a lot of people have high expectations for. It's something that customers have high expectations for. It's something that GTA fans have high expectations for. Something that gamers have high expectations for. It's something that Rockstar Games and Take Two Interactive have high expectations for. And we're just gonna have to see whether or not this game eventually lives up to those expectations in 2025.